Have you ever been tempted to believe what sounds good instead of what is true? Welcome to HisTime365. Today is day 238, and we're reading Jeremiah 28 through 30, where false hope is exposed and real hope is anchored in God's promises of restoration. Hope amidst despair. The promises of restoration in Jeremiah. Have you ever felt trapped in a situation that seemed hopeless? That's the backdrop of the chapters we explore today from the book of Jeremiah, where we encounter a powerful message of hope amid despair. In chapters 28 through 30, Jeremiah unfolds the tensions between false prophets and God's unyielding promises, reminding us that even in our darkest moments, there is a light of hope. In chapter 28, we meet Hananiah, a false prophet who boldly declares that God will break the yoke of Babylon from the Israelites within 2 years. He proclaims, "This yoke of Babylon shall be broken." Jeremiah 28:4. Hananiah's confident message appeals to the people's desire for immediate relief, but Jeremiah, the true prophet, stands firm against this deception. He reminds the people that true prophets speak the words of God, and they should be wary of those who promise quick fixes without divine backing. Jeremiah tells Hananiah that God's plans are often not what we wish for. Instead of immediate deliverance, Israel is destined for a longer period of hardship. He even goes so far as to predict that Hananiah's life will come to an end because of his misleading prophecies. Just as Jeremiah prophesies, Hananiah's life comes to an end shortly thereafter, serving as a sobering reminder that God's messages will prevail while falsehoods crumble. As we move into chapter 29, Jeremiah sends a letter to the exiles in Babylon, encouraging them to settle into their new reality. He urges them to build houses, plant gardens, and seek the welfare of the city in which they find themselves. "Seek the peace of the city," Jeremiah 29:7, he writes. This advice might seem strange, but it reflects God's heart for his people. Even in exile, there's a call to thrive, to contribute, and to live fully, knowing that God has not abandoned them. This chapter highlights something incredibly relevant today. When life takes us in unexpected directions, whether through job loss, financial strain, or personal loss, we can still find purpose and community in our circumstances. Just as the exiles were encouraged to make the best of their situation, we too can find ways to grow and help others even when facing challenges. Jeremiah then shares the wonderful promise from God. After 70 years, he will visit his people and fulfill his good word to bring them back to their homeland. "I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord." Jeremiah 29:11. This verse has become a favorite for many, reminding us that God has a plan for each of us, even when we can't see it. The plan is not for harm, but for hope and a future. Finally, in chapter 30, the tone shifts to one of restoration. God speaks of healing and restoration for Israel and Judah. He promises to gather his people and return them to their land. "I will restore health unto thee." Jeremiah 30:17. Here we see the culmination of God's faithfulness. While the people faced trials and tribulations, God's love remained steadfast. This chapter serves as a reminder that healing is a process. Just as the Israelites needed time to be restored, so do we in our own lives. The promise of restoration can resonate deeply in our modern lives. Consider a time when you faced a setback. Perhaps a job loss led to feelings of despair. Yet over time, you found a new opportunity that opened doors you never imagined. Or think about a family member struggling with mental health. Through support and treatment, they found healing and renewed hope. These stories remind us that even when we feel far from where we want to be, God is working in the background, orchestrating a beautiful return to wholeness. As we reflect on these chapters, we see that Jeremiah's message is not just historical, it's a vibrant call to embrace hope and resilience in our own lives. Whether it's in our relationships, our finances, or our mental health, we're invited to trust in God's promises. In every season of life, remember that God's plans for you are filled with hope and restoration. How can we discern between true and false messages in our lives today? What steps can we take to thrive in challenging circumstances? In what ways can we support others who feel lost or hopeless? Thanks so much for joining me today for His Time 365. Remember, today's reading is Jeremiah 28 through 30, so be sure to spend some time with those verses during your quiet time. Tomorrow, we'll be diving into Jeremiah 31 through 34, so feel free to read ahead if you'd like to prepare. If you enjoyed this time together, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so that you never miss a day on this journey. I'll see you right back here tomorrow for day 239. Until then, stay encouraged and thank you for giving God His time today.